Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Joy. So this is what we'll be making today. It's an off-shoulder bustier tube top with a strap on the neck. It's an open back top. It's a tube top. In fact, it's just an off-shoulder tube top. All right. So this is the material we'll be using for it. You fold your fabric into two, and the width should be your hip divided by 4 plus 4 inches allowance. My hip divided by 4 is 14. Is 40. That my hip is 40 divided by 4 is 10. Now plus 4 is 14. That's what I have there. Now you're going to minus how you want the off shoulder to look like. Mine is 6 inches and I'll get my full length of 26 inches. Alright, this is my bust point 11 inches, my under bust 14 inches, my waist 17 inches, and then the remaining is the full length, which is 26 inches for the front. Now you take them on a straight line, just mark them on a straight line so that you start getting your measurements. So this is my nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus half an inch. Now my span is 8 inches, so instead of 4 I do 4.5. This is material where it's not paper that will add half later, so you have to add your half together. So instead of 4 inches as my bust span, I do 4.5. Now on at my under bust, I will come in by half inch, then at the other part I'll come in by 1.5. Hope you understand. At this side that is folded, the center front, I'll come in by half inch, and the other side, the side part, I'll come out by 1.5 inches, and I will connect both of them on a straight line, just like this. It's that simple. Now from this my voice point, I'll go up by 1 inch and I'll come down by 1 inch. So that is where I'm going to connect this my curve. Then just watch my hand, just connect your curve and let them stop on that 1 inch you came down from. Now to the up, yes, this tube tightening, so I will come up out by 1 inch at the side. Now this small part I'm still coming in by half an inch. So to the smaller part, that side that is siding me is half inch from beginning to the end, while the side this up is 1 inch, and I'll still connect it. Just watch where I connected it, that 1 inch I went up by, right? All right, so now you're going to mark your measurements. So this is my, and this up, what I will do is to use my bust divided by 2, and I will not add allowance, and I will not replace that. So I will come down by 1 inch because of my armhole. So you can just minus that 6 inches there so that you know what you're doing. So I'll just do this 7 inches. So it's just 1 inch I came down from. My normal armhole is 8 inches, but because this is tube, you must not do up to that 8 because it's going to be very open. Oh. Okay, so at that 1 inch you came down from, you're going to measure your bust divided by 4 plus whatever that you have there, replace it, and then you add your 2 inches sewing allowance. You can do 2.5, can do as you want, but so my sewing allowance is always 1.5, 2 inches. So now this is how you're going to curve this armpit. Can you see? Instead of curving it out the normal way, I just went down because I don't want any sharp edge at that end. Now at your normal bust point, you're going to divide your bust into 4 and you add your normal 2 inches extra allowance. At your waist, you go by your waist divided by 4. Mark your waist divided by 4. My waist is 36, so divided by 4 is 9. So you would replace these 2 inches here, and then you add your normal allowance as well. Remember that the close part, we went in by half an inch, and the other side was 1.5, right? So that is 2 inches, and the same thing we do to the waist. Now for this hip, this blouse full length is your hip divided by 4 you will use, and then you're going to replace that same 2 inches that we went out from. and then you put your allowance. Please don't forget. And also, that 2 inches is the normal allowance you want to use. That is to say, you are going to be putting 2.5 inches for your allowance. My allowance will be 1.5. That's why I do that 2 inches, because you're going to join back that. You understand? Now at this end, you come up by 1.5 inches, and then you're going to connect it. Now you're going to connect it on a curve that it won't get to that line. It won't get to this line now that you've marked. Let it end like 1 inch before that line. Now that, do you see how I cut? Just cut everything. No sharp edge at that armhole, remember. So after cutting it, this underbust, you will notch it, notch the other parts too, because when you're going to pad your clothes, it will help you. Now for the back, I also went down by that 6 inches, and I get my normal blouse length of 26 inches. Remember, now I'm going to come in by my zipper allowance, which is 1.5 inches, and I'll get it on a straight line. All right, so my normal blouse length is not 26 inches, but this particular top, what I use is 26 inches length. All right, so that is my chest line, 9 inches, my waist 17 inches, and that place I mark now is 25 inches, because that is where my back will stop. But I will not cut it out now. I would show you when I want to cut it out. My back will stop at 25 inches, while my front will stop at 26 inches, but the two sides will be equal. That 25 is so that it will not go and be pressing your hip. All right, so this is my bust divided by 4. I'm going to mark it on the chest line, and I will add my 1.5 inches allowance. Remember, we are not going to join anything at the back. So your waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for your dart, and then 1.5 inches for your allowance. You can use 2 inches for your allowance at the back too, if that is what you want. Now for this blouse length, is your hip divided by 4 plus your 1.5 inches allowance. So you can still do your 2 inches allowance. Remember, the front I use 2 inches because I'm going to join back those darts. All right, so for this up, I'm going to divide my shoulder by 2, and whatever that I have there, I'm going to mark it. Mine is 8 inches, so I'll mark the 8 inches there. My shoulder divided by 2, just mark it there. And remember, all my line is starting from that zipper allowance. Now I'll come down by that same 1 inch, and I'm going to still curve it. Just watch my hand. That is how I'm going to curve it. I don't want any sharp edge there, because I'm not fixing any sleeve. And now for this my waist, I'll come out by 0.75, which is 3/4 inches. Then I will just connect it. Just find one and connect it. If you're my kind of shape, but if you have a nice shape, you will not see any curve there. So at that back, that same waist, I'll go out by that same 0.75 that I just, so that I can eliminate any zipper pouch there. That is what I'm doing. And after connecting it, the next thing is just for you to cut it out. And after cutting it out, this same down part, the side, you still come up by 1.5 inches, and then you connect it as well. Watch my hand when cutting. I'm going to arrange it very well. Please always use your scissors. All right, so this is the time I'm going to cut out this 25 inches. Now you check, just watch where I'm going to cut it. Can you see? It won't get to the allowance, right? Because the two sides must be equal with the front and the back. But the center will be higher, that it will be on top your hip instead of it to cover your hip. All right, so I'll remove half an inch from the down of my lining for the back, and I also remove half an inch for the down of my lining for the front, because I'm going to turn it. I'm going to use this lining to turn the material, and if I didn't remove this half lining, it can be showing out if you didn't iron it very well. So after removing it, now I'm going to pad all my materials. I'm going to pad everything. Like, I'm going to use the lightest gun stay. This is it. So I use lighted gun stay, and I pad everything. And also note that padding is optional. You can decide to join your own like that. So for this breast pad, for those that don't know how to pad this two pad, I'm going to describe it with this thing. So this is the pad, the wording I use. So this is that notching, that underboss will notch. So you make sure that your wording gets to that notching. Can you see? So after cutting it, you're going to remove 1 inch from it. You can remove half an inch if you want, but me, I remove 1 inch from it. And now you're going to notch that place to know the part that is the up. You take it to your ironing table and you're going to iron it. Can you see? So there is 1 inch up. Just watch. Now you iron it. Just make sure that the wording gets to that underboss. This underboss, that notching. This one will also start from there. And then you also make sure your nipple to nipple divided by 2, which mine is 4 inches. Now you divide your own, and then you're going to just curve it out like that. So maybe one of these days I also make video on how to pad bustier for people that doesn't know, because if you're making high neck you cannot use this pattern. No. So I will make a story on that. All right, so you notch it to also know the side that is the up, and then you go and pad it. That's to say the up have 1 inch that there is nothing on. That is where we're going to turn the neckline from, and then this word they must get to the under bust. Alright, so now you're going to join it. Just be making sure that equal while you sew. They are equal. Just be pressing them, let them be equal to you. So you can join from up, you can join from down. Whichever one that works for you is very okay, but let them be equal as you're joining. Just be pushing them, let them be equal while you sew. So for this back, I decided to come down by 7 inches instead of that 6 inches I used before. So this is, you just cut it out like this if you want yours to come down, but if you don't want, just leave it the way it was. So I just came down by that 1 inch and make sure the armhole still remains the same. Now I'm going to turn it with this lining, the up and the down, and then sew the zipper allowance straight. But for this side, I will sew small and I will leave like 3 inches opening where I'm going to turn everything out after sewing. Hope you understand. Alright, so that is how you push your lining and make sure that that extra is at the down part and not the neck part. Now you turn it out and arrange it very well because you're going to iron it. But before ironing it, let's check the front. Now this front, after ironing it, you just notch it very well. Take your time, please. Don't go and cut the line you sew. Go back to your ironing table now, open it very well like this, and you're going to iron it. Now for this bustier part, make sure you use your tailor ham to iron it. So this is my tailor ham and I have a tutorial on this. If you don't have yours at home, you don't need to buy anything, just your pieces that you use and do it. So you take your line, this line I've also ironed it open. You're going to turn this up from armhole to armhole. Now you turn it down. You can dub stitch if you want, and then you sew the sides, but also make sure that one of the sides you leave at the center, 3 inches where you're going to turn it out from, and then you go and iron it. So for ironing, you also put that tailor ham at that upper part. That is what I was trying to show there. And then for the dart at the back, you take your tape, you come down by chest line plus 1 inch. That's 10 inches. My chest line is 9 inches, right? So for this down part, you come up by 3 inches. You can do 2 inches if you want, but I did 3 inches. And for this side, this waist, I'll come in by my zipper allowance. And from that zipper allowance, you take your nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is 4 inches for me, and I'll just connect it on a straight line so that you can do your that. Now always use your ruler like I say. Don't mind me, oh, me I'm free hand. Now I go this side by half an inch, this other side by half an inch, and you just go to your machine and you run your darts. You must not mark this chalk and markings because I'm doing tutorial. On a normal day, I'll just go to my machine and fold it into two, pick up my dart, and then fix my zip and come out. It's that simple. You just take your time. After fixing your dart, now to fix your zip, you are going to start from the down because it's an open zip, so you must start from the down, and after sewing it straight you come from the up. Now this one now will start from the up and come back to the down. It's that simple. I also make a tutorial on how to fix a zip. It's not difficult at all. Then now you bend this zip, fold that extra one in between the allowance and the main material, and you notch it, cut out the extra, and that is all for this one. Now just go and take your measurement and divide everything. You're dividing by 4, but make sure your center front now is this zipper allowance. So from that zipper allowance, you'll be taking your measurement divided by 2 for all the sides. Can you see? This is my waist now, just like that. The first one was my tummy. This is my bust part. Just like that, be taking it. And the last part is the hip. Is the hip. Just take it and then you mark it out. Now for this strap, I have 30 inches here. And how I got 30 inches is from my armpit across the tape to from my shoulder to the other armpit. This is 2.5 inches on fold, and I'm going to sew this straight line. Now this is what I was trying to explain. From this armpit, now you cross this tape to the other armpit, and whatever thing you have there, you add 2 inches to it, and then you cut it on fold at 2.5 inches. Like if you open that material to be 5 inches, and then you turn it, iron it in a way that the strap, that line will be up, and then you fix it inside this boss. This your clothes you've already closed, just open like 3 inches from the armpit part and put it. Please, you're going to do it in a way it must not fold, it must be straight. And that will bring us to the end of this tutorial. I want to sincerely thank all my subscribers. I want to also encourage you to subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel. Please like, comment and share. Thank you for always stopping by. Thank you for always viewing my channel, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you very much. I love you. Bye.